So in event that this projection of the house goes down, goes way beyond, falls beyond below $80 per barrel to something as drastic as $40 per barrel, which we've seen before, what would your plan be?
The plan, the risk or the likelihood of oil prices dropping to that level in the next 3 years is not as great or as gloomy as the MTEF presented to us would want us to believe. And we've made that clear in our recommendation to the House, which was approved.
But perhaps by some stroke of ill fate, it does happen that way.
Anything can happen, even at 75. If you benchmark at 75 and it drops to 40, so if you had benchmarked at 80, benchmarking at 75 wouldn't have solved the problem.
The question is, will you be willing to share responsibility
Absolutely.
with the executive if prices do fall beyond the $80 that you have projected?
Absolutely. The buck stops on our table. Of course we'll take responsibility for it. It hasn't dropped in the last 3 years, so if we'd been benchmarking at 80 in the last 3 years, we would have done so much with our budget deficit, freed that much more for the private sector. The challenge we have is to enforce and implement these things. The CBN governor made a very, very vital point. The CBN governor said, if you free more money, we've always tried to ensure that the SMEs and agriculture gets money from the banks, but what we found is that these banks don't, one way or the other, don't give money to agriculture and SMEs. But that's the challenge. That's why he's the CBN governor.
All right.
He should put in place a deliberate plan, a deliberate policy to ensure that banks who do not comply are sanctioned. If you free that fund or have a percentage of funds that you can use to buy up bonds, cap it.
There are those who believe that the National Assembly is just politicizing this instead of looking at the economy and the implication of that $80 benchmark on the economy. How do you react to that?
I've said that the proponents of 75 have not told us why, except that we should continue to save. The Minister of Finance has said that it would turn the economy in the wrong direction.
If you go to 80.
If we go to 80. How?
All right. Well, these questions will linger on for a long time because by the time the House you'll be sitting today, won't you?
Yes, we're
okay.
sitting
So
today.
they'll consider that. I think you'll also take a look at the MTEF, right? Is it going to go through second reading, or
It's passed from the House of Reps.
Okay,
Passed.
so you're waiting that of the Senate.